in this session we are going to learn about the presentation of data. Presentation of data is the third step of data handling. So after organization of our data in a tabular form, we have to present it. So we are going to divide this whole session in two parts. In the first part, we learn how to read a bar graph. Reading a bar graph means getting information from a given bar graph. And in the second part, we learn how to draw a bar graph using a given set of information. Now, let's start with our first part of reading a bar graph. Here, we have a bar graph representing some information. So let's read what does it represent. The given bar graph shows the number of books sold by a bookstore during 5 consecutive years. So this bar graph represents the number of books sold by bookstore during 5 consecutive years, and these years are 1989, 1990, 1991, 1992 and 1993. Now using this information we have to find out about how many books were sold in 1989, 1990 and 1992. Now let's try to find out the number of books sold in 1989. Number of books sold in 1989 equals to 175. 175 is not an exact number of books which were sold during the year 1989. We are just trying to find out an approximate number of the books sold during this year, and this value is obtained by using this bar graph. How? Just draw a line from here to here. So after drawing a line from here to here, we get that the number of books sold during 1989 lies between 150 and 200. So we take a value between 150 and 200, and that value is 175. You can take other value as well between 150 and 200. Similarly, the number of books sold in 1990 equals to 475. Again, draw a line. So after drawing a line from here to here, we see that again this value lies between 450 and 500. So any value between 450 and 500 is an approximate value of number of books sold during 1990. Similarly, by using this bar graph, you can find out the number of books sold in 1992. So the number of books sold in 1992 is approximately equals to 225. Now, the next question is, we have to find out in which year about 475 books sold. So right now we find out that in the year 1990 475 books were sold. So we can quickly give the answer of this question. Now about 225 books sold. In which year 225 books sold? Again we have the answer of this question, that in the year 1992. Now the third part of the question is, in which years were fewer than 250 books sold? So you have to find out the years during which less than 250 books were sold. So this information can be easily obtained by using this bar graph. Just have a look. In the year 1990 more than 400 books were sold. In the year 1991 more than 250. Again you can also find out the value by drawing a line. In the year 1992, how many books were sold? 225. So this is less than 250. In the year 1993, more than 500. In the year 1989, 175. So we have 2 years during which less than 250 books were sold. So these years were 1989 and 1992. In these 2 years, less than 250 books were sold. Now, question number 4 is, can you explain how would you estimate the number of books sold in 1989? We are estimating this value as 175. How? We estimate the number of books sold during 1989 by adding this 1 unit, which is equals to 100 books, and the 3/4 part of this other unit. 3/4 part of this other unit means 3/4 part of 100, because 1 unit equals to 100 books. So we add 100 books plus 3/4 part of other 100 books, and 3/4 part of other 100 books equals to 75. Therefore, the number of books which were sold during the year 1989 is 175. So in this way, we estimate the number of books sold during the year 1989. Now, let's move on to the second step of presentation of data, that is drawing a bar graph or a double bar graph. Before drawing a bar graph or a double bar graph, you have to select a suitable scale. So the first step of drawing any graph is choosing a scale. A bar graph where numbers in units are to be shown. The graph represents 1 unit length for 1 observation, and if it has to show numbers in tens or hundreds, then 1 unit length can represent 10 or 100 observation. So what does it say? How do you going to choose a suitable scale for your graph? So let's try to understand this by this example. Here we have a set of observations which represent the favorite color of students. Now I try to present this data using these 2 bar graph. So here we have a 2 bar graph presenting the same data. The only difference between these bar graph is that in the first one, the scale is 1 unit equals to 10 students, and in the second one, the scale is 1 unit equals to 5 students. Now we have to decide which bar graph is the most appropriate one. Although they both are presenting this set of observations, but one of them is the most appropriate presentation of this set of observation. So let's see. Here 43 students are having red as favorite color, or you can say the number of students whose favorite color is red is 43. So this number is presented exactly by which bar graph? Here this number is exactly presented. Here this bar representing the color red does not exactly present the value of number of students having red as a favorite color. It will represent a value between 40 and 45. But in the above bar graph, this bar represents the value of number of students having red as a favorite color as 43. So this is the most appropriate bar graph for presenting this information, as it is presenting all the data exactly, and here this bar graph shows an approximate value of all the data which we have. So it is better to choose our scale as 1 unit equals to 10 students. Now if we take our scale as 1 unit equals to 100 students, if we take 1 unit equals to 100 students, then we have to just mark only one value, that is 100, and the length of all the bars will be less than this mark. Why? Because the number of students, they are less than 100. So again, 1 unit equals to 100 students is not a suitable scale for this set of information. Now what happens if I take 1 unit equals to 2 students? If 1 unit equals to 2 students, then in that case we were not able to present this set of information on a graph paper. Our graph paper is very small for presenting that set of information where the scale of the graph is 1 unit equals to 2 students. So now after choosing a suitable scale, let's try to draw a bar graph. So here we have a information about the performance of a student in first term and second term, and we have to draw a double bar graph. So before drawing a double bar graph, we have to choose the scale. So here the number of marks obtained by the student is less than 100. So either we can choose our scale as 1 unit equals to 10 marks, or I can choose 1 unit equals to 5 marks. But if I choose the scale as 1 unit equals to 5 marks, then 81 cannot be presented exactly, as we have to just mark a value between 80 and 85. So we just avoid the scale 1 unit equals to 5 marks, and we are choosing the scale as 1 unit equals to 10 marks. After choosing a suitable scale for this graph, now it's time to draw the graph. So the first step is to draw the vertical and horizontal line intersecting at point O. This is the point where these two lines are intersecting. After drawing the line, we have to decide which line going to represent which information. So here my horizontal line represent the information about the subjects, and the vertical line represent the marks obtained by the student. After deciding this, we have to divide the vertical line in equal divisions. So we have to divide this vertical line in equal division according to our scale of the graph. So we are dividing this as 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 up to 100. Why up to 100? Because the maximum value is 95. After drawing these vertical and horizontal line and marking the marks here, now it's time to draw the bars. So in this double bar graph, we have to represent the value of marks obtained by English in the first term and second term together like this. So if you just look at the information, the marks obtained by the student in English in first term is 67 and in second term is 70. So we represent the marks obtained by the student in English here as 67 and then 70. So the first bar represent the marks obtained by a student in first term, and the second bar represent the marks obtained by the student in second term. Similarly, you can draw the bars for other subjects as well. So after drawing the bar graph, we found that in order to distinguish between the marks obtained by the student in first term and second term, we have to write first term, second term, first term, second term every time on the given bars, which is not so convenient. So we can avoid this thing by using some colors. So the bar of a particular color represent the information of first term, and a bar of another color represent the information of second term. Or if you don't want to use the color, you can simply draw some designs. So here the bars of this type means in which horizontal lines are in which these vertical lines are drawn. So the bar of this type, these bars, they are going to represent the information of first term, and the bars of this type, they are going to represent the information of second term. So in this way we can avoid writing first term, second term, first term, second term each and every time on a given bar of the given subjects. So in this way you can draw a double bar graph